Two. Okay, so in this session with Katie Kavanaugh and myself, Ralph Havens, we're going to do something that you can test, and it's about your presence. You know how sometimes it's really, you can just feel it. Being around somebody uplifts you. Being around children a lot of times can uplift you. Being around other people can bring you down. And so the idea of like, can your presence heal? So what we're going to do, Katie and I already did this, and so it's already set up, and we can talk about that at another time of how you can do things ahead of time. It's a magic way of living, a spirit-filled way of living for real results. But we're going to set up a grid, if you want to use those words, so that you can use it and even use this video over and over again and share it, so that wherever you are, whether you're going into a meeting or you're with your kids, or you're picking up your kids, or something big is happening in the world, or for your hopes and dreams of whatever's going on, what might it be like for Katie and me to just be there with you energetically? We're literally on both sides of the United States, the East Coast and the West Coast, and we're set up with people from all over the world in our healing group, the Atomic Success Secrets. So what might it be like to have us in your meeting, not doing any kind of weird stuff, but just being in a state of presence, a state of whatever this spirit-filled thing is, and test it for yourself and see if the meeting goes differently since you watch this, and then let us know. So we're going to talk about stuff about these kind of ideas, and you're soaking in this right now. So yeah, Katie, I'm excited. Let me make sure I recorded that. And we are recording. Cool. Okay, so there we go. So test it out, you guys. Let's see what's going on. And Katie, what do you want to say?
It's, there's something about people who are just willing to hold space and who hold that compassion and the idea that miracles can happen. So when you're with someone who holds these values, you sort of like get them through osmosis, if we want to put it that way. You can feel other people's energies working in tandem with you. And that's what we do as healers. We're facilitators, really, because we don't do any of the actual healing. We just guide you to where you need to be. And so through presence, through a person who is very anchored with their own energy and with their beliefs and their values and who they are, then when you're with this person, you feel different. You feel uplifted because they, simply by being them, can help you raise your frequency to match theirs. And, we see this happen with people who are in really bad moods and they bring everybody down. We see this with people who are, like they feel like sunshine and they bring everybody up. So what would it do for you to have some of that sunshine feeling all the time? Like when you think about a certain person who really brings you a lot of joy, then when you're thinking of that person, you're changing inside, you're raising your frequency to be on that level of love, of compassion, of joy, of bliss, right? So could you imagine having to go into, say, like a meeting and have a discussion with your team about a really big project, and you're a little bit nervous about how it might go? What would it do for you to be able to have someone kind of tap in with you and be there with you energetically to just keep you calm and to remind you that, yes, indeed, you can do this and miracles do happen. Things can absolutely turn out the way that you want them to, even when we have no control over some of the other aspects of what's going on. So when you are in this meeting, in this pretend meeting that you're going to, and you have this sense of empowerment, this sense of strength, this sense of just inspiration and uplifting energy that you can share with others, what would that do for your team that you're presenting to? So this is just one example, because again, like maybe Ralph, because I know you do this with some of your clients, maybe you can chime in a little bit about what does it feel like to work energetically with someone who is about to like make a really huge phone call, or, you know, sign on a big client, or do, you know, make a big decision? What's your process?
So it's interesting. We do this. I've set up rules, if you want to call them rules. Basically, the way that I perceive the universe works. So you could call it a philosophy of life or a rule set. And then over the years of helping people with their healing, I've been able to test it. Of course, you know, we have clients, one-on-one clients and group clients for many years. And I'll set up a rule set, and I'll give an example of one, and then I can see what happened. Like, did it work? And over the years, I can see what works and what doesn't work. And what I found is there's a way, and there's different ways to do this, I suppose. And it's been talked about in all the spiritual traditions. Even in quantum physics, there's ideas around why this would work. But the big thing is, I'm not sure if we even know why it works, but I could say that, you know, somebody's got an issue here, and we do this thing I'm going to talk about, and then they're different. They're different. And sometimes they missed it. Like, what happened? Like, you know, they're like, oh, not much happened. But then you talk to them and it's like, oh my God, your whole life's different. Your business is different. Your relationships are different. Some people got fired or left the company that were bugging you, or, you know, a love of your life showed up, or like, or, you know, a healing thing happened, or you're able to run now and you weren't able to, and people might miss it. So, so I've set up these rule sets, and it's like the ancient yogis, you know, said that maybe the rules of the universe are more like suggestions. And like the latest quantum physics Nobel Prize, they found that it appears that everything is more like possibilities and not so real. And then it can be anything in any instant, yet it looks so physical to us. So what my experience is that things can happen in an instant, and this stuff works. And it reminds me of this, you know, you're big into astrology, and whether you believe in that or not, or you believe in Christian traditions or Hindu or Islam or whatever, quantum physics, it kind of points nature. It points to the same kind of that ineffable, like, what is that spirit? Yoda calls it the force. And so what I believe we're doing is setting up a different possibility, and then we can test it. So you and I already did this. We can talk about it this all day long, and it's already set. But what I would encourage people to do is just test this idea. Like, if Katie and I, Katie's in West Hartford, Connecticut, find her, healyourlight.com. I'm in Bellingham, Washington, autoimmuneanswers.com. You know, just tune in. You don't have to even tune in, but what would it be like if we were both with you, so that when we knew you had a meeting, when we knew you were going to pick up your kids, when we knew you got this goal for your life or your business or your work or something's going on, if we were hanging around. So what we're doing right now is setting up a grid, a rule set that, if you like, it's not intrusive. It doesn't work if you don't want it to work. If you don't want it, just click off. It's not, you know, we're not manipulating anything. But Katie and I are gonna, we're setting this up so that if you like, we can be with you simply by saying, okay, that sounds good to me. And then what you can do is just notice how the meetings go today. Notice how you pick up the kids from school. Notice how your kids are. Notice the miracles. Notice things that seem kind of weird. Just kind of just notice what you notice. And then, you know, come back to this video if you like. It'll be on YouTube as well. And just watch it again. And every so often, just kind of tune in to, or even just think about, like, yeah, Katie and Ralph said they're going to do this thing for me. And let's see what happens as I go into this meeting, or when I do this, or let's see what happens to my e-commerce store, or let me see how I feel with some of the conditions I'm dealing with, or some of the conditions my family's dealing with, and just see if stuff starts to change for you. And so that's what we did. And we set it up so that it's, like I said, it's not, it doesn't work for you unless you say yes. You have to kind of say, okay, I'm in, so that we're not trying to do something ninja against anybody's will. It's just a space. And it's in the world of prayer or meditation. It's in the world of quantum physics. And I just encourage people to go see how they feel after watching this video. even just walk around and see if you're different.
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely felt some things moving while we're talking, while I'm thinking about some of the things that, I'm going to use this to tap into, and just feeling things move and shift already. So I'm actually really excited to see how the rest of my day goes. Because again, like we set these things up for ourselves too. And,
Yeah.
when we're living a certain way connected to spirit, it's literally miracle after miracle after miracle after miracle. And I don't want to say you get used to it, because it's still the spontaneity is still just so exciting when things, you're just like, whoa, that worked out, or whoa, look at this coincidence. And it's really fun to start looking for proof that what you asked for is showing up. I mean, when we talk about quantum physics, everything is a possibility. So it already exists. We just need to bring it into that reality by focusing on it and getting ourselves into this type of space.
Yeah, and there's two ways to there's many ways to think about this. Whatever, it's not like a belief, it's not like a belief system. It's not like you have to be Christian or Islam, or or you don't have to believe in quantum physics or even nature. You can be agnostic. It's like but it's in all of these things. And so what if there is a code underneath the seemingly random, chaotic way the world is? What if there is a code? There's literally mathematics that's been found that's under the surface of stuff that looks chaotic. They've done stuff, reach out to me if you want about, or just Google chaos theory, and you'll start to see some of the mathematics that has been found underneath this that seems to be like a pattern. And so, yeah, I don't know what else to say except just test this for yourself. Tomorrow, get up, walk around, move around, or later today, watch this video again, walk around again, see how it feels. I've got a doctor that is with us in one of our group sessions, and she sends the videos. She's got a few videos that she really likes. My really good friend and colleague, Katie McIntyre, business coach. She's responsible for $50 million of sales from her clients. She works with us in our group, and she told me that one of the big reasons she likes hanging out with me, with us, doing this stuff is because of, she says, your presence, Ralph. I just like being in your presence. And now it's not like ego thing, I don't think. It's like we all have this. We all have this ineffable stuff, the stuff Yoda calls the Force. We all have it. If you haven't seen the second to last Star Wars movie, I think it's the second to last one. It's the one when the older version of Luke Skywalker, he's standing. I'll give you the I don't want to give you a spoiler. Spoiler alert. Yeah. Anyway, he does something in that space that's like, oh, isn't that science fiction? But it's like it's the highest levels of yoga and spirit and Christ and quantum physics. He does something in this. I think it's the second to last movie. It's when Kylo Ren wants to blow him up, and so it's like it's in a movie. It's kind of funny, and so anyway, I'm just saying there's this something in us, that was there when we were 4 years old. It's going to be there when we're 96 years old if we're still on the planet. There's something there it's whatever that is. And so what Katie and I do is that whatever that is, that's what we do. That's what we are. And so what we found is that here's the process I use. So you could think about, what do you believe? Like that, I just told you some of the stuff I believe, like my philosophy. What do you believe? Maybe about your life or your business, your money, your health. What do you believe? And you might see some beliefs that are like not useful. You might want to scratch those out. And what would you like to believe? But what do you believe? And then second question, crazy question, why do you believe it? Like, why do you think that's true? My wife and I joked, she was the one that joked, we see these signs all over Bellingham. We believe science is real. And I'm like, well, at least they know it's just a belief. They think it's science. It's like, but they're saying belief. So, but yeah, what do you believe and why do you believe it's true? Like, you might want to examine like what you feel is true And why is that? Do you have proof? Do you know it absolutely? Because when you get to the point of like what you believe, like we believe the world is magic. We've seen, and the reason we believe it is we've seen the results. It's like, oh my God, that's definitely spirit. And so then what do you believe and why do you believe it? And then the third question is where it hits the road. So what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Because if you're like, it's like, if you truly believe what you say you believe, you might start looking at your day and go, well, if I'm really believing this, why am I doing that? And then just focus in on like, well, if I really believe what I say I believe in, how about if I do this instead? And so this is all set up for you as a grid right now with me and Katie. And just to give you a heads up, we do hours of very specific meditations. It's in Katie's book, Pure Effing Magic. It's in our group. It's with what we do with one-on-one clients. And we do it for ourselves every morning. I do a couple of hours. Katie does a lot of time too. And it's a way of life. And so it's kind of funny when you then have when we have clients, it's like just being around this, whatever this is, people can heal even ahead of time. So I'd love to hear what people notice. I'd love to hear what you notice. I'd love to see what happens if you test this, like use this video over and over and over again, save it and find it on YouTube on our Beyond Limits. And yeah, anything else you want to say, Katie? I mean, this is feeling big to me.
Yeah, just going back to the beliefs and, are your actions congruent? When we are in alignment, that makes our presence so much more powerful because everything is congruent, everything is cohesive. And, that place that that we talk about, this spirit place, this home place, I guess, this energy, every single being on this planet is also connected to that. And so when you're willing to open yourself up to it, that's how you can receive it from those who are putting it out into the world simply by choosing to exist in a particular way. So it's always available and you can never separate yourself from it. Just most of us forget that we have the ability to tap into it. So if you're willing to just sit and say, yes, I'm going to tap into this, then you can just receive all that Ralph and I have put out, and you'll see for yourself, you'll start to feel differently. So notice how you feel after you say yes to opening up to this, and really work to connect with your heart space, because that's truly where we work from. It's this open heart, open connection sort of idea that gets you reconnected to each other and to spirit. So
Great.
let us know. Yeah, let us know what happens for you, and let us know in the comments what has been most valuable for you in this video. And of course, if you have any questions, reach out to us anytime, Ralph Havens and Katie Kavanaugh. And Ralph, I know you have to get going, so we're going to end here. Thank you guys so much for joining in, and we will see you again next time.
Thank you, Katie. Okay, putting it on YouTube now. Bye.